I gave a presentation to my colleagues earlier this week on everything that's been playing out in crypto in the last month. It was about a half an hour long presentation. I'm going to create two versions of this for you. One version is about 15 minutes. This is going to be 2 minutes. I'm going to run through everything. I'm not going to explain much. Remember, this is not financial advice. And let me know if you have questions, if you like this, and if you want me to do more of this in the future. So let's jump in. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, and okay. So if we look at the crypto market, it's at $3.3 trillion. The all-time high for crypto was around 3.8 trillion. So even though things are going pretty well, there's a lot more room to grow. That's why I'm particularly bullish in the next mid to long term. And one of the reasons why as well is the Bitcoin search terms, right? When I want to know if the regular person is thinking about Bitcoin and how close we are to a local top, I look at buy Bitcoin search terms. We saw that this was the last true manic phase when Bitcoin hit about $69,000. Look at it today. Is it only 14 out of 100? The Bitcoin price is $108,000. And the Fear Greed Index, which gives a sign of bullish or bearish sentiment around crypto, is only 52. What that means to me is, wow, we have so much more room to go. If your friends aren't asking you about Bitcoin, it's probably a good time to continue to DCA, dollar cost average, into the asset, not financial advice. Okay. BlackRock, which holds the largest ETF for Bitcoin, just hit a massive record with Bitcoin. It just became the fastest growing ETF ever, hitting $70 billion in just 341 days. Wow, that's amazing. Bitcoin treasury companies continue to be a thing. Bitcoin treasury companies in both private and public markets are growing. They don't just exist in the United States, but around the world. One in particular, this is crazy, Metaplanet, right, which is based in Japan, and one of the reasons why so many other companies want to do this, hit a huge valuation. Look at it. It has grown by over 2,000% since they announced that they were going to be adding Bitcoin to their treasuries. So we can understand why they're going to be copycats. Most of them are not going to be successful. Good job, Metaplanet, for understanding why in Japan you could offer a unique service. Okay, in the last a few months, and especially this month, a big thing happened. Texas became the third U.S. state to pass legislation at the state level, creating a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Texas is the seventh largest economy in the world by GDP, right? I think it's like $2.5 to $3 trillion annually, which is massive. Now they can buy Bitcoin and they can add it to their balance sheets. This is the beginning of a trend that's just going to jump forward over time. Companies, countries, cities, obviously people, and at some point, everything in between. Okay, I'm going to skip over the bearish part because we don't have time for that. Stablecoins, right? So a US dollar stablecoin, whether it's USDC or USDT, represent about $250 billion right now. But the US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent sees up to $2 trillion in demand for these over time by 2030, which means that there is a huge demand for stablecoins and for the infrastructure on which stablecoins runs, like Ethereum. And we'll talk about Ethereum in the future, not today. Circle is a company that created one of these two stablecoins, USDC. It finally went public. It launched earlier this month at about $30 a share. It hit a height of about $300 a share. Right now it's settled at about $180. Yes, everyone wants access to stablecoins and to the upside on potential stablecoins. We're not going to talk about Ethereum, but we'll do it next time. Let's talk about policy. So the US just passed in the Senate the Genius Act, which finally creates sustainable legislation for consumers for stablecoins in the US, and it'll probably trickle out to the rest of the world. This is something that the industry has been asking for years. I'm super excited that this is finally happening, and let's see more of this. Common sense regulation that protects consumers but allows for the crypto industry to continue to innovate and move forward. So congratulations. Let's get this passed. I know that President Trump is excited to sign it. He said that before. Another reason why probably the price of Circle is going up. According to Polymarket, the famous prediction market, we don't think we're going to see interest rates go down this month, but we'll probably see them go down in September and afterwards, which is quite bullish for all assets, especially scarce assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the like. This is, again, not financial advice. And the last thing that I wanted to end with, because I know that we're already over 2 minutes, look at this. One is this was the war between Israel and Iran. It was really interesting to see the Bitcoin price during the war. Bitcoin was the only asset available on the open market as soon as the war started, because it started on a weekend. And watching the Bitcoin price, watching how the Bitcoin price reacted and the oil prices reacted during this time, I think they turned out to be much smarter than the average pundit that you would see on TV in terms of what was actually playing out and what's going to happen in the future. And I think we're going to start to see people looking towards Bitcoin as an indicator at the macro and the geopolitical level to understand what's actually playing out as a true source of truth, not the only, but one of them over time, because they seem to be a better sense of consensus of what's actually playing out compared to what experts think. So that is the roundup for June. I'm really excited for July, and I'll see you in a month. Bye-bye.